We are here today in Marion County, Arkansas, just a little way from Monarch, Arkansas. And we're in the lovely home here of Ella Marie Burleson. Ella Marie is a young age of almost 92, not quite 92 yet, but she's lived here in the Lead Hill and Monarch area all of her life. And of course, I know all kinds of her friends and relatives around here, and we could find out all kinds of things about Ella Marie Burleson. And so we're just going to take a few moments here and share with you some of her life and what she's meant to everyone in this community and her family. And we're just excited about being here today, Ella Marie, with you in your home. And you've lived here all your life?
In Lead Hill. I've lived in this house since 1948.
I see. But you were born in Lead Hill, the old town Lead Hill, or the old town?
Well, just wherever Mom and Daddy live.
That's right. Yeah. Well, you know, I was born in the Rock House up.
I know you were.
Yeah, the cross lights were a terror to the whole community. But anyway, that's where we were. But you went to school at Lead Hill schools and everything.
Until I was in the 10th grade in school.
Yeah.
And then we moved to Daddy moved to a place that we called the Mears place, and I started going to school at Bergman.
Oh, you went to Bergman School?
For a year and a half. I liked a half a year of my senior year, and I developed some heart problems, and I had to quit. Well, I just didn't go back and finish.
Well, now, you went to Lead Hill quite a bit because you said you knew my brother Earl Dean,
and
you knew my sister Vita.
Yes.
You knew Polly.
Yes.
You knew Polly, and then you even knew Kirby and Bob, probably them when they went to school.
I did. You know, I didn't know them like I did the older ones.
Right.
But
right. Now, did you remember a lot about the old town of Lead Hill before the waters came in?
Oh, yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about the old town, where the things were and located, and the places you went, and all that kind of stuff?
I can. I mean, I might not be able to tell you the names, but you'd come into Lead Hill off of the highway, and Uncle Charlie Austin's store was right there on the corner. And you came down, and then there was a Hancock had a store.
Yeah, that's my uncle.
Yeah.
Hancock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you went on the right-hand side of the highway, the street, there was a driver that had a clock shop.
Yes.
His last name was
Tom
Driver.
Or some kin to Tom Driver?
Yeah. Okay. They were related, but I don't know where.
Right.
And then you went down, and Albie May Pruitt had a store.
That's where I got all my orange drinks, knee-high drinks, Albie Pruitt's store.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you went on, and there was another store there that Jack and Lucille Cowan had a store at one time, but they didn't last long. And then the old post office.
My dad was postmaster for 29 years. I thought 29. I'm not sure.
Probably was.
Yeah.
And then there was a Magnus Phoenix on that side, and then Clay Brown had the next store. Mm-hmm. And then you went right on up the street, and Kirkwood's, and they even had a movie theater.
Is that right?
Yes.
Did you go to the movie?
Oh, heaven.
What did you see when you went?
Westerns.
Tom Mix? Tom Mix? Who was your favorite movie star back then?
Probably back then. That's a long time ago.
Year before last.
Maybe John Wayne had entered the picture by then.
Yeah, he did make some in the 1940s. He did.
And but yeah, we went about every Saturday night if we could get our 25 cents together.
25 cents.
And we enjoyed that. And then they went on, and there was another a rock building that I think Milam. No, not Milam. I don't know. And then there was Kirkwood's, and you come back down the other side, and there was, of course, the old drugstore.
Yes.
And they had Test Tippett had a restaurant
cafe.
in there. And,
we called it a cafe back then, right?
Oh, I know. That's all it was.
Today it's a steakhouse and a restaurant, but back then it was just a cafe.
The restaurant's not... Anyway, yeah.
Yes.
And of course, way back, and I can remember the cotton gin and the grist mill. Mm-hmm. I can remember those being there. Mm-hmm. And then you came on up the street, and there was another little cafe that Mom and Daddy had at one time. And John Bush came from Iowa up to buy Cedar Post, and they had them piled I mean, they would bring them in and they'd put them right there by that little cafe. And then there was a feed store on the other side of that, and the old hotel.
Yes.
Yes. And I think that's all there was on that. There was another building, but I don't know what was in it.
Right.
I don't remember.
Now, my mom and dad had a cafe, or was in one of those cafes at the time there. I know because my brothers and sisters used to sneak in the back window and steal candy bars from the cafe.
Then Clay Brown, Clay and Neva took the big store over.
Yeah. Tell me something, Ella. Tell me something about your family. Where you come from, your ancestors and people that came to this area.
The only grandparent that I had really was Grandpa Fletcher, Fletcher Austin.
Oh, okay.
And Mama's parents had already passed away, and Daddy's family always lived at Lid Hill. They may have lived in Oklahoma some, I don't know. I just don't know.
Well, now my mother and dad, or grandmother, they went over into Oklahoma for a short amount of time and then came back to Lid Hill.
Yeah. Well, Mama was actually born in Oklahoma. And I know Mama's said, but I don't know. I just know. But her mom and dad were half Indian.
Cherokee? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, see, my grandmother, Hancock, was part Cherokee.
Okay.
And so that came on up through my mama and me. I haven't scalped anybody lately, or
well, I haven't either, but
I've wanted to a couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
So Fletcher Austin was your grandfather?
Was my grandpa.
Okay, now that comes on up. Now your mom and dad's names were?
My dad was Roy Austin.
Roy Austin.
Of course, John Roy. Mm-hmm. And Mama was Dolly Roy.
Dolly Roy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That was her last name before she married. And they worked, when Mom was 6 years old, all of her brothers and sisters were orphaned. Mm-hmm. And they just went around, lived with whoever would have them then.
Right.
But then Mama was staying with Uncle Lou and Uncle Lou Hunter. She was working. Aunt Jenny had died, and she was taking care of all the Hunter kids, and that's where her and Daddy met and married.
I see. Now you have brothers and sisters?
I believe so.
How many last time you looked, how many brothers and sisters do you have?
I had 7, but my youngest brother died in 1942, and then John Roy was the oldest one. And then there were 7 of us all together.
Okay. All right.